Alright, so let's get started for the installation commands of Hadoop single node pseudo-distributed mode on Ubuntu 14.10. So let me start with a fresh Ubuntu desktop 14.10 installed in my VMware workstation running on Windows 8.1 Enterprise Edition, and this is the latest editions of Ubuntu 14.10, and what I'm right now interested is basically for the first time installations of Hadoop 1. Specifically 2.6. That's the latest package, and after that I will also show that how to install Scala and Spark on top of Apache Hadoop, and also further we'll move ahead with Apache Shirk installation. So let's get started. First install Apache Hadoop as a single node distribution. So the first command that you need to do is sudo apt-get update to take the basic updates. Alrighty, so the next step would be to install default JDK. So just type sudo apt-get install default-jdk and continue with the installation, and it will go ahead and connect to the OpenJDK server, and it will download and install the current package of OpenJDK version, that is 1.7.0 and _75. That's the IST version of JDK. Alternatively, you can also go ahead for installations with Oracle JDK. So you need to download the Oracle JDK version 1.7 or 1.8, and you can continue as an alternations of with Oracle JDK download and installation. Alrighty, let's check the Java version. Okay, so it's the iStable edition, that's 2.5.4 OpenJDK runtime environment, and there is OpenJDK 64-bit server VM has been installed. So the default installed Java version for this cluster is right now 1.7.0, and its minor version is 7.5. Next, what you need to do is we need to install SSH, and we need to configure the passwordless authentications with SSH. Alright, similarly install and go ahead the installation of rsync, and finally put out the commands to specify the passwordless authentication with SSH. And take out this path to under authorized key directory. And next we are done with the configuration, so you can check that your SSH has been configured without passwordless authentication if it is running like this after configurations. Okay, so we are good to go. We have configured already the passwordless SSH configuration. The next step, what I did already, we need to download the current Hadoop stable image that's in the tar.gz format, because since we are working in Ubuntu. So what I did is I already downloaded that Hadoop 2.6.tar.gz package, and it's being available under the downloads directory. So what I need to do right now is I need to extract this package. And voila, we have extracted already the package. Now the next step is basically we need to move this Hadoop folder into the local directory path. So what I need to do is basically we need to execute the command to move this path into local Hadoop directory of the Ubuntu cluster. So we need to execute the following command, and after that we'll be able to see that the folder has been extracted, Hadoop folder has been moved up. And what we need to do, we need to check out the path of the default path of JDK. by using the following command, that's update alternatives config java, and we'll be able to see that the default path of the JDK is like this. That's user lib jvm java 7 open jdk -amd64 /jre being java. So you can copy this path and you can save it in a notepad, because we need to use this path further. So keep it aside, and next go ahead and open bash rc. To set up the environment settings. Okay, so Vim is my favorite editor, and so if you like to go ahead with the Vim instead of vi, so that can be done. And I can continue with the same command. Alright, so I am in the bash rc script for setting up environment variable. I just pressed I to be in insert mode using Vim editor, and what I need to do next is basically I need to add several Hadoop environment settings variable, and I need to write the following set of commands. Or what you can do, you can directly copy and paste this path from the editor from where you have saved already. So paste from there, and next we need to give the path for your Hadoop home. We need to specify the path for MapReduce home, for Hadoop common home, to give path for Hadoop HDFS home, now also the path for Yearn home. So these are the following settings we need to go for Hadoop environment settings variable. First of all, you need to set up the path for common Java home, and also after that we need to set up the path for Hadoop home, that is the default directory where we have just moved up the extracted folder for Hadoop 2.6, and we need to set up the path for Hadoop home, that's with both of the bin and sbin folder, which consist of most of the processes for Hadoop common starting and stopping processes. We need to set up the path for Hadoop MapReduce home. We need to set up the path for Hadoop common home. We need to set up the path for HDFS and yearn, and similarly we need to set up the path for common library, that is native directory, and also the optimized library path, that is djava.library.path equals to Hadoop home/lib. Once you have done up to this, we need to type shift:/wq to save and exit from this editor, and finally we need to apply the settings. So what we need to do is basically we need to write source till bash rc so that the settings has been applied. Next, what you need to do is basically we need to move out into the folder of Hadoop. So here you would be able to see that there are a lot of changes have been made in the current editions of Hadoop Apache Hadoop version 2.6, and where we have been able to see that there is only specific folders that are being available, like bin, etc, include, lib, lib execute, sbin, and share. So bin specifically consists of all the standard services like container for yearns, Hadoop, Hadoop command, HDFS, MapReduce, test container executor, and yearns. And apart from that, there is another folder called etc. So etc specifically consists of all the standard services that's being needed of. There is another folder called sbin. So sbin, okay, let me go ahead inside this folder. So sbin is specifically that's being consist of specifically the services, more of all that has been consist of all the standard shell scripts services, that's being consist of all the starting and stopping services of yearn, for a DFS file system, for balancer, for refreshing the name nodes, for job history daemon, for Hadoop daemon, for HDFS configuration, distribute executions, and all the stuffs. And similarly, if I need to go just right now inside etc folder, and you'll be able to see there are a lot of standard XML templates are being available. So I need to configure some of the bunch of XML templates and XML configuration file to starting of the services of name node, data node, secondary name node, and tax tracker, job tracker, and also yearn like resource manager and node manager. So a couple of services I need to start, and before that I need to do a lot of configurations over the XML files within the Hadoop folder. So one of the first file that I need to edit first is the mapred_site.xml. So in Hadoop 2.6 you would be able to see that there is no specific XML file that has been mentioned as mapred_site.xml. The only file you'll be able to see as mapred_site.xml.template. So previously, while we have been working with earlier versions of Hadoop 2.x families like Hadoop version framework version 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, so we have to explicitly made this template for our backup purpose. But right now we don't need to make up any backup over here as template. We can directly go ahead and work with the template. So what I need to do, basically I need to open up the template file, that's mapred_site.xml.template. And what I need to do is basically I need to write some standard configuration with XML. And after that I need to move out from the folder, from the XML file. Next, similarly, I need to open the file called yearnsite.xml. need to add some standard properties for this. And once I've done, remember that on Hadoop 2.x package onwards, we need to mention the value for the year node manager as MapReduce_shuffle. Previously, we just can write MapReduce, but from 2.0 onwards, when we have introduced specifically yearn services, the value for this node that would be specifically MapReduce_shuffle to introduce the shuffling phase. Next one, the file that I need to make a configuration is core site.xml. Go ahead and write some standard property. Once I've done all this, you can save and exit. So the name that I need to mention is for this configuration property for Hadoop core is default namespace, that's fs.default.name for HDFS, and I need to specifically define the HDFS for single node. It could be the URI, that could be localhost, and port number would be 9000 for HDFS protocol. And we need to save and exit from this file, that's core site.xml, and also we need to make a change to HDFS site.xml. And in this file, we need to write a couple of configurations over here. We need to specify the name for the name node and the default location of name node. So since my present working directory is home/trainer, so here I'm going to create specifically a directory to save the name node and data node directory. So once I've done up to this, so what I did here, basically I have also mentioned here some of the configurations that's called replication factor, that specifies that how many times the data blocks within the data node that will get replicated. So it's for instance, for a single node instance, it could be just a value of 1. In for multi-node cluster installation, I can make, if I am having 3 slave nodes or 7 slave nodes, so I could make the replication numbers according to like that, like 3, 7, like this. Similarly, I need to mention the name node directory name in the name tag, and value specifically I need to mention mention the directory path for name node. For data node, I need to mention the name for the data node, and value that could be need to mention the directory for data node. So other locations that could be also used in HDFS by separating the values with commas. So if I'm having the data node like as a home, a Hadoop user, Hadoop space HDFS data node, or dex2 Hadoop / data node, like this. So once I've done up to this, I can save and exit from this file. And the next thing is the file that I need to make a change is the environment settings file. So this is the following file, the shell, that's hadoop env.sh, and I need to open this with an editor. And what I need to do here, basically I need to specify the default Java home path for this directory. Only that this one is fine. Save and exit. The next thing what I need to do is basically I need to create the directory path for name node and data node. So what I need to write is basically the same path, basically what I've specified in hdfs site.xml. Okay, let me go ahead with the data node directory creation. So once I've done up to this, the last step, which is a pretty important step, is basically I need to give the permission. So what I need to write here, the cd ch own, that's a permission, usernames colon group name. So my username and group name for both of these cases in this cluster is trainer, when r, then it should be user local Hadoop, so that the permission has been given for this current user to this entire Hadoop directory. Once I've been done, I would be able to see that HDFS and Hadoop path has been set up already. And what I need to do next is basically I need to go ahead and format the name node. So the command for this, that would be HDFS name node -format. So it would go ahead if there is no errors being happened earlier, so the steps would be happen smoothly. The next step that we need to do is basically to start up the services, that start dfs.sh. So it would start up all the file system services, like starting off the name node, a data node, and secondary name node would be starting up. And in the next shell that you need to run is basically you need to start the yarn services. So just type start yarn.sh and it would start the yarn daemons, node manager, and resource manager. Once you have done up to this, just type jps to see that how many services have been running so far. So you'll be able to see that all the services mostly that have been started. So name node, secondary name node, data node, and resource manager, node manager, all the default 5 services have been started basically for HDFS and yearn services for Hadoop version 2.6. Next, what you need to do is basically you can check also the verification as the installation. So let me check the version of Hadoop that I have been installed here for this cluster. So it would be Hadoop version 2.6, and next we can also simultaneously you can check the web console version of Hadoop by typing the name node by specifying localhost port number 570, that's 50070,